Trey, can you take us through your decision making on why you decided to come back for 2024?
It was challenging for sure. It was in the back of my mind throughout the season, but as the season came to a close, it definitely got bigger and bigger in my mind. And for me, the biggest thing was being able to come back to a reliable offense that's still going to be able to improve my skill set, and that's definitely something I feel like I can do here. And I'm comfortable with my teammates, I'm comfortable with the coaches, I'm comfortable with the quarterback, and on top of that, they got the 12-team playoff. We want to go there and we want to go win a championship. So those were some of the biggest factors for me in coming back.
If you don't mind sharing, I mean, there were others in your situation where there was deciding to stay or come back and all that. Was there any kind of dialogue exchange between y'all, and what was kind of the common denominator in it all?
Oh, most definitely. Everybody was talking to each other. Everybody was trying to figure out where everybody's head was at. Everybody trying to see what they're really trying to decide. And we all saw how the season went this year, and we felt like if we do it again, we know we could go farther. Like that was the biggest thing. We all pretty much came to one thing was like, hey, we do it one more time, we know what we're going after. Like this year, we really didn't get what we really wanted, which was a SEC championship and going to the playoffs. And next year it just improves our chances with 12 teams. And we all just pretty much came to that thought of, hey, let's just do it again. Let's run it back.
Trey, how much of the season were you fully healthy, and then how I guess kind of a three-pronged question, how challenging was that to work through playing where you weren't close to 100%, and then kind of what's your health status now?
I'd definitely say, I want to say it was probably like after the Arkansas, maybe after the Vandy game, that's probably when I probably got back to 100% because I got hurt versus Tulane. And it was difficult, going out there and not be able to produce how I wanted to produce, even though, being limited with the leg injury and everything. But, end of the day, we still went out there and got a W. That's all I was trying to do, is to contribute to my team and try to go out there and get a W, and that's what happened.
Having those weeks where you weren't close to 100%, do you think that impacted sort of the way that the league looked at you in terms of this year to go into next season kind of wanting to prove that, hey, what you saw at the beginning of the year is who you are?
Most definitely. I feel like I definitely started out on a fast track, and definitely feel like that injury did set me back a little bit, but – that was God's plan. God wanted me to stay another year. I'm going to stay another year. I'm going to go do it again. Go show everybody, hey, I'm that guy.
With Jordan coming back, you coming back, and with what Caden did and Aiden had sparks there times, and obviously you see who's committed or going maybe potentially commit. What are your thoughts on this receivers room entering into 2024?
Excitement. We excited. We getting ready to go into the next year with a couple of new guys, and it's good to have those young guys that are still here. They're going to be growing up. They don't got a year under their belt. And seeing how the program moves, and seeing how the game moves, and, that's huge because now they know how everything works. They know how the ins and outs of the offense. They know the ins and outs of everything going through practice and even the game and even the game speed. Having those guys are huge because they could just fit in and they'll just pretty much replace us going into the next years. And them coming in whenever we tired or anything like that, they're going to pretty much do the same exact reps we're doing. So it's huge to have those guys coming in.
Oh, Trey, just looking at Penn State defense, what have y'all seen on film?
We see that they tend to play a lot of man. Their front seven is pretty much their strong point, I feel like. Their secondary, their back end is not as strong as their front seven, especially. They do have a couple guys that have opted out. But, we're going in the same game plan as every week, and that's to go dominate. It's to push the tempo, go dominate, and play our game. And, what Ole Miss do. We'll go out there and score a lot of points.
I know Jackson's waiting till the game and all this is done, then he's going to sit down and decide. But what's your relationship been with him throughout this year, and knowing that potentially you will have your quarterback back next year if he chooses that?
It's grown immensely over this entire year. I came in and like literally last year, I was probably one of the recruits watching them practice for the bowl game last year against Texas Tech, and to see how the entire year has went. Especially with Jackson, he's been my roommate every single game, and he's pretty much my best friend, man. I mean, it's grown immensely. Our families are close to each other and all that. So just being able to have that chemistry with him is huge, and all that it all plays a part on the field. Because I know whenever he's going to come to me. And that's pretty much how it goes. And, you know, it's huge if he comes back. But we know after this game, we're going to see what his decision is. And I'm going to support him regardless of it.
Since you first got here, where have you seen Jackson grow the most personally, football-wise, all those sorts of things?
Just as a leader, you know, I feel like whenever I first came here, he was a little quiet as a leader. And I feel like he had to take a couple steps just to show everybody that, hey, he's the guy. And, you know, that's exactly what he did starting. And I feel like one of the biggest steps was against Tulane. Well, that big play where he ended up throwing it to Tre in the end zone. And just that game in itself really showed who Jackson is as a quarterback, as a player, and as a leader. He literally carried us on his back that game, I feel like, and he did everything he could. And just being able to see him go out every single game and do something that you wouldn't expect him to do is incredible, because a lot of the times you need somebody like that. You need somebody that comes and just pulls a play out of the blue, and you're like, all right, we still got fight in us. We still got a fighting spirit. And, you know, that's pretty much who the epitome is. He's the epitome of a fighting spirit, and, you know, I'm behind him 100% no matter what. Thank y'all.